What is the real meaning behind the new color-coded checkmarks on Twitter? Well, the platform is now relaunching its subscription service next week, offering users verified status for $8 a month or $11 a month on their iPhone. So it looks like Elon Musk is hoping this will fix the absolute chaos that took place last month when the subscription service was first introduced, and thousands of impersonator accounts started appearing on Twitter. So what is he going to do differently now? Well, the new system is set to give priority to subscribers over those who don't pay. Apparently, they will get more prominence on the platform and rocket to the top of replies, mentions, and searches, a move that is supposed to help combat scams and spam. Not only that, but under the new service, subscribers who attempt to change their handle, display name, or photo will temporarily lose their tick until the account has been reviewed again. Other features offered include the ability to edit tweets. According to a trial launched by the company in September, users will be able to edit a tweet up to 30 minutes after it was published, with a symbol showing their post has been modified. Other planned new features include offering half the number of adverts and the ability to post longer tweets. The company also confirmed that it would introduce a color-coded verification scheme, with businesses receiving a gold tick or check mark and government accounts receiving a gray symbol. But is this really enough to ensure that history won't repeat itself? To give you some background, back in November, many people took advantage of the new system and started impersonating big brands and celebrities and paying for the blue tick badge in order to make them look authentic. It seemed like an absolute train wreck of an idea at the time, because in the hours after the blue checks were put up for sale, the platform was flooded with all kinds of verified impersonators, from Jesus to a fake LeBron James announcing that he wanted to be traded away from the Lakers. Big brands were also hit, as a fake Nintendo account tweeted a picture of Mario flipping the bird. Pharmaceutical company Eli Lilly began tweeting fake messages about free insulin, and a fake Pepsi account started tweeting about the superiority of Coca-Cola. Another account even pretended to be Tesla and bragged about using child labor. Most of the impersonators were removed, although some stayed up for hours. Then, in an apparent attempt to prevent this from happening again, Twitter temporarily restricted blue subscriptions to accounts that were created before November the 9th, so that they could take some time to fix the loopholes in the new service. So far, the official Twitter account has made an announcement of the changes, saying, "We're relaunching Twitter Blue on Monday. Subscribe on web for $8 a month or on iOS for $11 a month to get access to subscriber-only features, including the blue checkmark." According to the platform's website, the blue tick service is currently available on iOS only in the US, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, also the UK, with plans to expand. But funnily enough, Twitter did not explain why Apple users were being charged more than others on the web, although it might have something to do with the fact that Musk has pretty much declared war on Apple, because they threatened to take Twitter off the App Store, and they take a cut of up to 30% on sales. In a series of tweets last month, he also accused the company of threatening to stop all advertising on Twitter if they don't play by their rules. Musk made a bold statement when he insinuated that Apple is actively trying to censor content on the internet, all because they're afraid of free speech. In a series of tweets, the tech billionaire wrote, "Apple has mostly stopped advertising on Twitter. Do they hate free speech in America?" He even tagged the CEO of Apple, Tim Cook, and said, "What's going on here?" So why was he being so confrontational? Well, a lot of it has to do with the insane amount of money that Apple spends on Twitter ads. They spent around $130,000 just between the 10th of November and the 16th. And although that might sound like a lot, they spent double that amount in October, between the 16th and the 22nd, the week before Musk took over Twitter. So historically, Twitter has received some very impressive paychecks from Apple, but it's possible Musk might have found a way to keep that money coming in. After a recent meeting with Apple's chief executive Tim Cook, he tweeted that there was a misunderstanding about Twitter being removed from the App Store and that the issue had been resolved. So he might have been able to come to some kind of agreement with Apple after all, but it still doesn't change the fact that ever since the takeover, a laundry list of companies have either stopped or paused their advertising on the platform. This is going to be a huge issue because ad sales accounted for about 90% of their $1.5 billion revenue last year. Last month, Musk claimed that the platform had seen a massive drop in revenue, and for that he blamed activist groups for pressuring advertisers. But perhaps the elephant in the room is the fact that Twitter now has a real issue with hate speech, and the so-called Content Moderation Council that Musk put together seems to have fallen through already. On Monday night, he abruptly dissolved Twitter's Trust and Safety Council just moments before it was scheduled to meet with company representatives. The council was an advisory group of nearly 100 independent civil, human rights, and other organizations that the company formed in 2016, all to address hate speech, exploitation, and other problems on the platform. But according According to multiple members, Twitter informed the group via email that it was going to disband shortly before the meeting was to take place. This disturbing news comes just after it was reported that Twitter's former top safety official, Yoel Roth, was forced to flee his home after escalating personal attacks, including from Musk himself. CNN reported on Monday that Roth and his family fled after Musk's tweets misrepresented his academic writing about sexual activity and people that are underage. As head of trust and safety at Twitter, he was involved in many of the platform's decision about what posts to remove and what accounts to suspend. Over the years, Musk has made disparaging tweets about certain individuals, all to his tens of millions of followers, who then felt compelled to launch an attack against whoever he has decided to target. But now that he owns one of the most powerful social networks in the world and is set to become the most followed person on his own platform, the stakes are even higher. For instance, his recent condemnation of Anthony Fauci, the top US health official, has also drawn immense backlash. He tweeted, "My pronouns are prosecute Fauci." As a result, Fauci has said that he's faced death threats from Musk's followers. This is in addition to the criticism that he's endured from Trump and various conservatives who objected to his handling of the pandemic. In a press conference, the White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, called Musk tweets dangerous and said, "They are disgusting and divorced from reality, and we will continue to call that out and be very clear about that." But even though he has a massive online following, that doesn't necessarily translate to real life. Musk found that out the hard way when he made his most recent stage appearance with Dave Chappelle at the Chase Center in San Francisco. The comedian introduced him with, "Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the richest man in the world." And for the first couple of seconds, Musk looked ready to accept a euphoric welcome from the crowd of 18,000 people. He raised his arms high up in the air and spun around, expecting a round of cheering and applause. Then the booing started, and it continued and got louder and louder. For the best part of 10 minutes, he was given a real-time readout of his current popularity ratings. All Chappelle could say was, "Controversy, buddy. Weren't expecting this, were you?" While the booing continued to echo throughout the auditorium. Interestingly enough, both men on stage appeared to be genuinely taken aback by the reception. After a while, Chappelle tried to save the moment with another joke and said, "It sounds like some of the people you fired are in the audience." The evening was clearly a disaster, but by Monday morning, Musk had perked up and was already rewriting history. He reassured his Twitter followers that the noise in the auditorium had been in fact 90% cheers and 10% boos. But the fact is certainly up for debate if he felt he had to clarify it in the first place. So do you think Elon Musk is really as popular as he thinks he is? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next video.